Next up at UFC Vegas 80, we have Alex Morono taking on Joaquin Buckley in what will be one of the more controversial fights. Not because the fight will be weird, but controversial in that a lot of people are on both sides of this, and I totally get it. I think these odds are wide. We have Alex Morono, 23-8 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, coming off that submission win over Tim Means, taking on Joaquin Buckley, 16-6 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off a successful welterweight debut. Alex Morono is very well-rounded. He has nice, clean striking, incredibly underappreciated grappling. He is a high-level black belt, but he doesn't use his wrestling very often. He does a nice job working in a takedown when he needs to, but it's not usually his go-forward game plan. He's going to strike with you. He's going to hang out. He does have good striking, technical striking. And if he gets a takedown or two, you got to have to worry on the ground because, as I mentioned, high-level, underappreciated black belt. He is taking on Joaquin Buckley. As we all know, this guy's a very powerful striker. He comes in hot. He's got good footwork. He cuts nice angles. He has really good power, but as of late, he's done a nice job not chasing knockouts. He's getting them. He just knocked out Paulo Fiallo, or Andre Fiallo. Paulo Fiallo is an old school fighter that only real MMA fans will know who he is. Oh, he is. And he was phenomenal, and then he went fucking crazy. Anyway. He just knocked out Fiallo, but he didn't chase. He wasn't headhunting. The knock on Joaquin Buckley back in the day is that he would headhunt and he would chase. And if he didn't get it, he would, he'd fade and have some ill-fated moments. But now that he's just so comfortable, his cardio is rock solid, his head movement is great. He's not chasing. He's taking his time. He's working things, and that power is finding itself. And the most impressive part of that last win, of that knockout, obviously, it was a knockout. That's impressive. But he had some really nice, well-timed takedowns. Obviously, I don't think he's going to use his takedowns in this fight because Alex is such a good grappler. Alex is very underrated, but I'm still going to lean Buckley here. Low confidence. I think these odds are super wide. I think Buckley should be the favorite. He's the more dangerous guy. He looked incredible at welterweight. But I think Buckley's going to be a little faster. Certainly a lot more powerful. I think his footwork is going to be good enough. We've seen him fight high-level wrestlers before, defend those takedowns. So then it's just a striking match because Alex Morono, I don't think, has a good enough offensive wrestling. And strike for strike, Joaquin Buckley's the better striker, so he is going to be the pick. I understand the opening line, but I like Buckley to get it done. I'm not touching the minus 200. What do you think, Jakey boy?
First of all, Alex Morono, his nickname, I got to assume that's the Great White Shark. Right, because his nickname is the Great White, and it just kind of ends there. It just kind of ends there, and it's just kind of a very, very suspicious nickname. Alex Morono, the Great White. It's just a very wild nickname. So I got to imagine that just means shark because of his grappling. He's a shark in the water, but it's just very interesting. Just end it with the Great White. But as you mentioned, he is a shark on the ground. This is one of the most, and I can't stress this enough, this is one of the most high-level grapplers that you guys probably have never heard of. This guy is like a triple black belt on the ground, but he is exactly what everybody wants a jiu-jitsu nerd to be, and that is not a grappler. He has said, I think it's boring. I want to bang. He has said, he's a jiu-jitsu guy that says, I want to bang, and he loves those fights where he can get in there with his strike. And I'm telling you guys right now, if you guys have never watched Alex Morono fight, and you end up putting money on Alex Morono because of what I'm about to tell you, and this fight starts, do not panic, because he is a very he's a very awkward guy. He's a very awkward guy in the way he stands and the way that he tiptoes around. He's just bouncy. He's got this high guard. You're going to see him like this. He definitely isn't going to look like Joaquin Buckley. By the way, I love Buckley. After that last fight with Andre Fiallo, he got on the mic and was just yelling at everyone. He's like, yeah, I fucking love Buckley and the energy that he brings. But when this comes down to fight for fight, ability for ability, Alex Morono has so much experience. He has very, very sneaky power. And the fight that I went to watch was him versus Simmelsberger. Because Simmelsberger is a similar type fighter to Buckley. Buckley is a lot of explosion. It is blitzing with big shots. It is blitzing with big takedowns. And Semelsberger fights the same type of way. And Alex Morono really fucking picked him apart. With that high guard, the blitz would come in, and bam, he was right there with nice tight shots. And Buckley, when you watch him fight, even at 170, you still see him blitzing in with, these wide open combinations. Wide open combinations. And yes, they are effective against a guy like Andre Fiala, who was just kind of very tentative in that fight, who can get knocked out. We saw the Dirty Bird did him fucking 30 in that last fight. But I'm telling you right now, the better striker in this matchup is Alex Morono. The better grappler in this matchup is Alex Morono. If Buckley comes in, is starting to get touched up, and he defaults to the wrestling because he can get these takedowns, these big explosive double takedowns, he's going to be in fucking trouble. Alex Morono can scramble. He's even very dangerous off his back. He is heads and shoulders above Buckley on the ground. And in the striking, he is a very technical striker. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, he got knocked out by Ponzinibbio. He got knocked out by Ponzinibbio. That was on 5 days' notice. And he was fucking Ponzinibbio up for the first 2 rounds. Almost finished Ponzinibbio in that 3rd round. You could tell he was getting very tired. That was more of like a very tired knockout. He's been knocked out before that, but typically he's a pretty durable guy. I think Buckley comes in, has a little bit of success early. You're going to see the big blitzes. Maybe gets a takedown, but he doesn't keep control, and it looks like he's winning this fight. But Alex Morono is just going to pick him apart with the striking, with the counters. He's a very high, intelligent guy. The way that he fights, he knows the dangers that Buckley brings. He's going to be with that high guard and those nice tight shots, waiting for the counters. He's going to be touching Buckley up, and I think Morono can really hurt this guy. And if Buckley's hurt and defaults to the wrestling, Morono can definitely submit this dude. So I like Alex Morono in this fight. I think he's pretty much better everywhere except for like just pure athletic power. So if Buckley comes in and knocks this guy out, I'm not going to be super surprised, right? That's what Buckley does to people. He has that ability. But Morono, to me, is the better fighter here, and I'm going with the great White, Alex Morono.
That is a funny nickname, but yeah, I'm on the other side. I appreciate how good Alex Morono is. I picked him to beat Semelsberger in that fight. I'm sure you did 2 days later, and everybody thought you were good for it. But I think Joaquin Buckley just too fast, too athletic, and Morono is hittable. And I think that's going to be the difference. If this was Joaquin Buckley 2 years ago, I actually think Morono would have beat him. But this Joaquin Buckley, the patient one, the one who takes his time, doesn't just chase knockouts wildly.
He's a patient until he's not. He's just like not all in all the time. He's still bump, and then he's and then he waits, and then he waits.
I get it, but then I guess my point is, he's not throwing everything with 100% intent at people's heads trying to get the knockout. He will work the body. He will work the legs. He will work in the wrestling. He's not just chasing knockouts. He used to just chase knockouts, and he's not anymore. And I think it's really working out for him. So anyway, we're split. Let's do a bet openly bet here. Set one up. Throw it my way.
All right. Can't wait for you to not accept it.
WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. You can see all of Jacob's bets, all of my bets. Artem's Bellator plays, Artem's Contender Series bets. You're going to see Running Mouth MMA. There's 3 of them. You're going to see all 3 of their picks, their bets. You're going to see our round line leans, our confidence levels for every single pick, the raw notes, the DraftKings optimizer, the FanDuel plays, the Prize Picks plays, the Underdog plays, everything and everything I didn't mention. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member.